Hello, you beautiful people. This video is pretty random, but today we unexpectedly got some news related to Cyrene, who we know almost nothing about, and some other info on another character as well, but we're going to discuss this character later on and not right now. So, in this video, I will mainly go over all the info that we got a few hours ago related to Cyrene, and this info also gives us a little hint related to her overall playstyle as well. She is the Alicia XP, who is like one of the most popular Hoyoverse characters ever, so some of you guys can already predict that she is most likely going to have a really broken kit. As for the other character, we're also going to go through all the info that we got on them, and I have a pretty interesting guess on who this character is, which might even surprise you a little bit. Before we begin though, let me just mention the usual disclaimer that everything which I mention in this video is taken from different sources, and it can be changed because it's not set in stone, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Okay, first things first, I'm obviously going to start with Cyrene, and she is going to be an Ice-type unit who follows the path of remembrance. A relatively reliable source actually gave us some info today in a really unique way because they released 2 images of characters from a game called Princess Connect and gave us 2 kit descriptions based on them. The info from the first pick screams like a supports kit to me, and the second one looks like a sustain kit, but we'll talk about that later. So, as of the current theory, the first kit belongs to Cyrene, and this kit seems like one of the most imbalanced or broken kits that I've ever seen. Using her skill, she will be able to grant team-wide energy regeneration, specifically fully recharging the ultimate of all the allies on her team. I don't expect this ability to actually make it to the live servers because this would be way too broken even for HSR standards, but a team-wide energy regeneration-based support sounds really great. We all know how much value the stat named energy regeneration holds in this game, and the value of characters like Sunday, Tingyun, and Huohua is increased by a decent amount, just because they can provide extra energy to your team. I honestly believe that energy regeneration is the most useful stat in the game, except maybe action value manipulation, and this is the case because the characters that we have rely on their ultimate to make their kits function. Even if Cyrene's actual skill turned out to be a downgraded version compared to this info, I would still be really happy with it because fully recharging your entire team's ultimate sounds like a really good deal to me. Talking about action manipulation though, her ultimate provides team-wide speed and attack buffs. These buffs are pretty standard especially for supports in HSR, but they're also really good universal buffs to give to your team, so I would say her ultimate also scores quite a lot of points. I know a lot of you guys probably got curious when I mentioned this other character at the start, so let's move on from Cyrene and take a look at the info on this character next. If you saw the thumbnail though, or read the title, you probably won't be surprised at all because the unit that I'm going to talk about is Dan Heng's new 5-star form. Now let me preface this by saying that this is just an educated guess from me because the source did not personally confirm who this character is, but after looking at the kit, I feel like Dan Heng or Terravox is the only unit who fits the description perfectly. This unit's skill provides healing to your party while also giving crowd control resistance, and the source worded it like it was crowd control immunity rather than resistance, which sounds actually crazy. You can even pair this up with the heals that this unit provides, so that's the pretty synergistic kit overall. Their ultimate is the more juicy part of their kit though, because it provides team-wide energy regeneration in a somewhat small amount. But even a small amount of team-wide energy sounds really nice because it helps the entire team and their own sustain as well. I still believe that this info will be related to Dan Heng's new form, but because he is supposed to be a preservation unit, I think the heal on the skill can be swapped with a shield, just to make it a little more believable. Honestly, I'm pretty confident that because Terravox is going to be our yearly preservation unit, he is definitely going to have a really insane kit and might even be the best sustain on his release. Well, I've already covered all the new info that we got on these new unit, namely Cyrene and Terravox. Both of their kits sound pretty nice to me because they have insanely good team-wide mechanics and skills, which is always going to be really beneficial in the long run. Obviously, the unit that I talked about today aren't confirmed to be Cyrene or Dan Heng, but I'm pretty confident that it will be those 2 based on what we saw. Also, if you ended up watching until the end, you might want to consider subscribing as well. With that being said, I just want to say I love y'all and I will see you in another one.